Conchita Montenegro. Let's start from afar. A Spanish model, dancer, theater, and film actress who was known and worked in these fields from 1927 to 1944, and was born back in 1911 under the name Concepcion Andres Picado. As a child, she studied classical and Spanish dance. She is credited with a revolutionary performance of burning Spanish dances, but we can only take the eyewitness's word for it. Next, Conchita Montenegro moved from dancing to dramatic acting and played in numerous productions. By the age of 13, she had achieved theatrical fame in Hollywood, France, and Germany. At the age of 16, she starred in a French film, and in June 1930, she came to Hollywood under contract, where she quickly learned English and began acting. After 10 years, she ended her career in America, but also starred in several Spanish films. She was married to a Brazilian actor, but little is known about her personal life. Conchita left us in Madrid in 2007 at the age of 95. La Jana. Her real name is Henrietta Margaret Hibbel, Austrian-German silent film actress and dancer. Since early childhood, she studied singing and studied in a choreography class at a local opera. In 1913, at the age of 8, she began performing as a dancer in the children's ballet of the Frankfurt Opera and Ballet Theater. She also began acting in films quite early, taking a pseudonym. She was considered the most popular dancer in Berlin in the 1930s. She starred in 25 European films, often dancing in them in exotic costumes. La Jana has never been married and had no children. In 1940, she died suddenly of pneumonia at the age of 35. Ironically, the premiere of her latest film, The Star of Rio de Janeiro, took place exactly 1 week later. Pier Angeli. The Italian actress is originally from Sardinia. She was born Anna Maria Pierangeli. She first appeared on the screens in 1950. It was an Italian film, but a year later the actress starred in Hollywood, where she was awarded the Golden Globe Award for Best Debut Actress for her first role. Further, in addition to film roles, a series of novels with famous American actors of that time followed. As a result, she marries actor and singer Vic Damon, gives birth to a son, but 4 years later the couple scandalously divorces. In the early 60s, Angeli returned to Europe. He continues to act in films, but his former success has not happened. She marries an Italian composer for the second time and gives birth to her second son. In the early 1970s, she was unexpectedly invited to star in The Godfather. Her career could have taken off again, but in September 1971, 39-year-old Pier Angeli suddenly left this world as a result of an accidental overdose of sedatives. However, according to rumors, there was another opinion, as if she was just afraid of getting old. Belinda Lee. And finally, the British film actress. The real name, which, as you already understood, was very rare in the cinema of that time. She was born into a wealthy family, received a good upbringing, and graduated from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in London. After starting working in the theater, she was noticed and invited to play a role in her debut film. As they say, the first roles were dramatic, but then he played mostly gorgeous blondes with a pronounced figure. After her first divorce, she moved to Italy, where she began acting in low-budget films. In 1961, she starred in a film by the extravagant director Gualtiero Jacopetti, with whom she began an affair. During a break, Jacopetti and Lee, who was pregnant with his child, decided to drive a Cadillac along Highway 91 in the Mojave Desert. At a speed of 160 kilometers per hour, the car's rear tire burst and it rolled over. Jacopetti suffered serious injuries and spent his entire life walking with a cane, while Belinda Lee remained a 25-year-old forever. Linda Carter. I want to introduce you to an actress who, in this speech image, will be recognized only by the most connoisseurs of American television series and comics about superheroes. But you must admit that it's not the girl, but the charm itself. By the way, she even took part in beauty contests, including Miss World in 1972. But I will not continue to torment the dear viewer. The main role that brought Linda fame was the so-called Wonder Woman in the television series of the same name, which aired in 1975 to 1979. In this image of a superhero, she quickly became an idol of youth, but later she was also quickly almost forgotten. Next, she tried her luck in music, although she later returned to a TV show. Raquel Welch, perhaps the most famous actress in the world of cinema, is their entire selection, but since her fame boomed in 1966, only a few people remember her today. But back in the 70s, Raquel was a real cough symbol, if you know what I mean, partly because she starred not only in films, but also for the covers of men's magazines, where she was described as nothing less than the most desirable woman of the 1970s. China Machado. Let's slightly dilute the photos of white American actresses with exotic Asian beauty. I don't know 100% if she had any movie roles, but Machado became the first color model to appear in a major American fashion magazine, Harper's Bazaar, February 1959. By the way, how do you personally like Asian beauty? In general, in a broad sense? China herself, by the way, is not a pure-blooded Chinese woman. Her father was Portuguese from Macau, Persis Humbata. But this actress may seem vaguely familiar to someone. That's just if you cut her hair and make her look like she's in her most famous role. She is an Indian actress and fashion model. She is best known for her role as Lieutenant Ilia in the 1979 film Star Trek, the motion picture. And just for information and to broaden her horizons, in 1965 Persis took part in the Miss India pageant, in which she won. Carolyn Jones. You must admit that it's even hard to take your eyes off those eyes. She is an American actress, best known for her role as Morticia Addams in the TV series The Addams Family in the 1960s. She was nominated for a Golden Globe for it. But after the series ended in 1966, her career began to decline. The photo is another example of how much a woman's image can differ depending on the haircut. It's the same Carolyn, but it feels like a different person. I'm definitely in favor of long hair, aren't you? Mylene DiManggio. It would be wrong not to show at least one European actress in this publication. In an amicable way, it's worth making a separate selection about them, but for the sake of order, let's look at these sensual photos of the French blonde. However, it cannot be said about her that she is completely unknown. Take, for example, the role of a journalist in the trilogy about Fantomas. But again, when was that? So, I hope that for someone these photos are a great reason to remember about the exciting beauty and fantasize by watching movies with her, and for someone else a reason to turn their eyes to the cinema of the last century. If you love vintage photographs and want to immerse yourself in the atmosphere of the past, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Here you will find unique snapshots, interesting stories, and captivating facts about celebrities and events that have left their mark in history. Support us with a like so we can continue sharing this amazing collection with you.